Hello, welcome back for another vlog visit in my studio. And today, as you can see, I'm going to be talking about my favorite thing, which of course is art. But right under art, there is a little indent, and I would write books about. And here are the books about my favorite thing. But I thought I'd give you a little explanation of how all of this evolved. So, in 2012, this was the be-all and end-all of my artistic endeavors, and I so thoroughly and totally loved this. But I had been doing this kind of work in stitchery probably for 40 years. And anything but anything can get old after a while. I would still like to do this, but not to the exclusion of my art. Now, that was in 2012. And in 2013, I was taking art lessons here in Jacksonville, and I was doing this sort of art. These were exercises in glazing with watercolor. And I knew that it was something that I needed to learn, that I needed to be proficient at, so that in watercolor I could see the various layers of color that are under this horse. And if you look very closely, you can see that on this horse there are layers and gradations of color. And then I think the straw that broke the camel's back for me was this guy. We worked from a picture, and this is probably 30 layers of watercolor to achieve this effect. And I was quite successful at it as far as I'm concerned. However, I thought I just am not happy doing this. I love watercolor, but this being constricted to making something look like a picture, which of course is a totally legitimate way to learn art, well, I couldn't take it much anymore. And along around that time, for some reason, in Joann's, in their book section, I happened to see this book, and my hand went to it. For what reason, I do not know. And, of course, at that point in my life, I had no idea who Flora Bowley was. Well, I certainly do now, folks, but then I didn't. And as I paged through this book, I got to the back, and when I saw something like this, finding your unique voice and allowing your paintings to be born with ease, and something like this, well, it was an epiphany for me. I literally don't want to exaggerate when I can say that this changed my art world, changed my thoughts, changed my focus. I realized, and I mulled over it, and I thought about it, and I went home and stitched some more and took a few more watercolor lessons, but I knew that this was the Carol that was waiting to come out. And this wonderful book is what did it, and I am so happy and I've been happy through the rest of, through 14 and 2015 and 2016, and now that I found this, because wonderful. Excuse me, I have an allergy cough. I'll be right back. So I thought I'd share some purchases that I just made with you. While I was in Huntersville, North Carolina, last month, up at the Donna Downey studio, her book rack contained these two books. And I have to be honest, purchasing a book, as I call it, cold, on Amazon is a leap of faith. I'm a person who likes to pick it up, look at it, and browse through. It's just how I relate to a book to decide whether or not I want this book. And yes, I decided that I did. And I have been reading through this wonderful book, word for word, page for page, taking my time and mulling. And as you can see, I'm up to chapter 3, Mixed Media Painting, because that will be my new emphasis, because I feel as though I haven't been doing enough of it, and I think this is my next step. Acrylic painting, get that under my belt. Oh, I don't expect that to be too quick, but we'll see. And then I want to go back to some oils. I did, however, purchase water soluble oils because of the odor issue. They are tucked away and they are waiting, and I don't expect to be getting to them, maybe not until the end of the year or the beginning of next, but this book is just wonderful. So I purchased that one at Donna's, and this one. They are full of important information, ideas, concepts, and as you can see, I'm now on chapter 4 here. Again, I am taking the time to read and look at and think about everything that is being presented in these books, and I am so happy that I invested in them because they are truly wonderful. Now, I will be including titles and authors on my blog, and you'll find that down below in my information section. So, these two at Donna's. This, well, about 10 days ago, in the snail mail came Joann's annual coupon feast that happens long around the 4th of July every year. And with I had 50 and 60% coupons. So I thought to myself, now I don't shop much for art materials in Joann's because basically it is a fabric store, and I hadn't been in there in about a year. So I took myself in my hot little hand with my coupons, and of course I hit that book section that they have, and I kind of let my fingers do the walking and pulling apart and seeing what was underneath, and I found this one. Here again, I understand buying on books on Amazon, it might be a little bit less costly, but this one with a 50% coupon, certainly that was not a problem. But I like to be able to see what I'm buying. So, a playful painting workshop, I thought, aha, oh yes, I said to myself, self, there are things to learn here that you are not familiar with, and isn't that the point? Oh my, isn't that the point of our art? learning, experimenting, and saying, what if? Well, this is a really super what if book. So, and of course, I wouldn't have even 2 years ago recognized this name. I certainly do now. These are my new direction after I have digested. I also realize that many people would probably have these books on their tablet, but I'm very old-fashioned when it comes to my books. I like to be able to go back, refer to them, pull them up to my nose and look closely, and almost touch them in my mind. So, these are my latest purchases, and I have been going through my studio because I have decided I need to do a studio tour pretty soon, so I decided to put my finger on just about every single thing in the studio, and I dug in and found these books, and these are the books. These 3 books are on my bedside table. This book I bought blind on Amazon. There again, not exactly sure because I hadn't done this, but then when I did this, I realized, oh yes, I was very lucky on this one. And as you can see, welcome Creativity with Ease. Well, I cannot wait to go through this. I was up to here in this book, but I think since it's been a while, I'm going to start right over it again, go through it, mull, learn, and have much food for creative thought from this one, bedside book. This one was at a wonderful sale on Amazon, and I have taken out the CD and I have tucked that away for watching. And here, a very different concept from one that I'm used to, and there again, look at those pretty little girls. So, isn't she delightful? I think I partially understand how I might do this, but I want to know even more. That's, I guess, because I've been a teacher for 37 years. It's my nature to want to study a little bit on something and mull it around and live with it and think about it until it gels. Bedside book. This is another bedside book, and it does say mixed media, but a lot of this is watercolor, and oh my, oh my, oh my. And for someone who likes to do little piddly work in watercolor and enjoys doing it, this book is just a delight. As you can see, I'm up to this chapter, working with white, but this absolutely makes me happy all over because I can see the watercolors just flowing off my brush on this one. Another bedside table book. Again, I will be including names and titles on my blog, which I'm getting back to also. I've decided that as of July 1st, I'm going to get back to it and give it more attention. These 2 are Maldive books. Now, I love a good mall, and I have quite a few here in Jacksonville, in Florida. I don't often find books like this, but when I do, and the price is right, I mean, seriously, very right, that's part of the fun, of course. These 2 are providing me with great ideas for wandering books. I didn't know that there was any such thing, but here are directions, and I'm a direction follower from the get-go. So this one is something that I'm looking forward to. And wouldn't this be fun to do on watercolor paper and apply some of those learning experiences with these girls to a wandering book. And then here, a triangle accordion book. Well, why not? It looks like great fun. Many of the things in here, of course, are not anything that I wish to get into or spend too much time doing, but when you're at a mall and the book is priced right, even if there are one or two things in it, at least two, in this case there were two or three, that went to the counter. Another mall dive, this time when I was up in Fernandina Beach, Florida, I found this one and it said miniature scrapbooks, and I thought, oh, let me have a look. This book took my time when I found this dimensional book, these accordion books, and so forth and so on. And this one was the reason this one went home with me. I'm tickled by it. And here again, three things in this book that I just might give a try. And the price was right, and I was in my favorite environment, a little antique mall, and found this puppy. So, bookmaking possibilities, bedside table books, and my future carol art in these. I do hope that you have enjoyed my share. I will be taking the time today to put the names and titles and maybe a little bit of a short, very short recap of what was in each book. And if you do enjoy these vlogs, please give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate a comment. And if you would share with a friend, that would be wonderful. Look at her, I just love that watercolor. And I would certainly hope that you might consider subscribing to my channel. I have another vlog planned pretty soon. I'm going to be doing one thing that I thought I should be doing, because I've promised it to some of my subscribers, that I would do a studio tour. And the second thing is that I'm going to be sharing some altered book possibilities that I've been finding in my mall dives. And I've also been considering the possibility of doing an Etsy shop, thinking that maybe some of the things that I'm lucky enough to find you might be interested in having. So, if that sounds like something that you think I might try, please leave a comment. I will certainly appreciate your input. Bye for now.